Okay, next item is to approve the select board meeting minutes of January 28th. We've been meeting way too often. Everybody have a chance to review those?
I did.
Yes.
All right, do we have a motion to approve those minutes?
Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Mike does.
I'll
Second
second.
from Ron. We're all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Okay, and I will approve these. Thank you, Patty. Okay, any additions or deletions to the agenda? Guess not. Seeing none, we'll move right on here. Any public comments? We don't have any members of the public here, except for Sarah, who has a role a little later on, so I guess we'll move forward. And Todd, we're up to you now for the Vermont Grand Fondo. We wanted to invite you to just give us an overview, because not everybody was here over the years when this event was taking place, so it'd be good to get a little update on what's happening and to learn if there's anything different this year than in previous years. And we have the documentation here to sign, so once we're through here, hopefully we can get that to you and you'll be on your way.
Yeah, great, thanks. So the event is, this is we're in our 11th rendition, and basically we're a recreational cycling event that brings in roughly 80% of our participants are from out of state, so we bring a lot of people in, and we run generally between 300 and 500 participants depending on the year. We start in Bristol in the early hours of the morning, and our first relatively new introduction, a new route we introduced last year, starts at 5 a.m., which is called our Grand X, which is our 6-gap, 150-mile version. And they summit Appalachian Gap first. So that's where Fayston would come in. And they generally, we turn up German Flats Road towards the Sugarbush Access Road. And then we're on to Warren from there. And on to the rest of the route. So that's kind of the section that's in Fayston, which is Route 17, over the gap from Beals Gore, Fayston, and into Warren. And then we have our next, that's a 5 a.m. start, so we're coming over the mountain at about 6. The next route, the next course leaves at 7 a.m. and they come over the mountain at about 8. That's our Grand route, which is our 100-mile version, and 4 gaps. So same thing, they follow that same route and then go on from there. We have 2 other courses, but neither of those come over Appalachian Gap. And both of those courses that come over the App Gap, we have moto, about 12 motos. They're not all on that one course, but we have 12 motos that are out on course, various. The quantity of motos depends on the quantity of riders for that particular course. We generally have 3 motos on the 150-mile course and about 4 to 6 on the Grand course. The Grand, which is our 100-mile route, that is the most popular. So that's our largest field. Generally what happens is the riders thin out by the time they've gotten to the top of App Gap. So there's no large group that goes out. We don't control the road in the sense of on the course and blocking it like Green Mountain Stage Race might do. We have basically a lead-out motorcycle that just kind of makes sure everyone's making the right turns and getting through safely. And then a moto at the back, a moto that wanders through the middle. We generally have a sag wagon as well to pick up any strays or help for punctures and whatnot. We do We do our first rest stop at Paradise Provisions, or we do it at the Fayston, is it the Fayston Elementary School down? Yes, Fayston Elementary School, right, on German Flats?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've done it there, and we've done it at Paradise Provisions. Just depends, since Paradise Provisions got purchased by Sugar Bush, it's a little bit different depending on who's making the decision there. So we could be at one place or the other. Are there any questions? I mean, that's essentially it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ron?
I just have a question. So
Sorry.
go ahead.
Let me just add we do directional and warning signs on the route, so riders drivers and riders know when there's steep descents. Drivers know where cyclists are coming and going from. We generally we put signs on the east side of German Flats Road intersection, so that cars coming from Waitsfield and up the hill, they'll know that there's a cycling event coming along. And another thing I like to point out is that whenever I design these courses, and this is the case for the APGAP 17 and German Flats Road, that we're doing right-hand turns as much as possible, so there's no crossing of traffic.
Okay.
That's it. So questions?
Ron?
Yeah, my question was, is there a method of announcing this race, like the week before, the days before, notifications so townspeople will know to be expecting bikers on the road?
Yeah, I've done two different things. Generally, I request, and I did this last year, so I don't know if someone here remembers, but I put a form letter out asking the town offices if they would send out on their front porch forum, because the reason I ask that is that front porch forum, the fee, I don't know if you guys have advertised on front porch forum, but it's around $6,000 for me to put that notification out to 22 towns. So if you guys, hopefully you guys are willing to do that again. I think I'm pretty sure you did it last year. Basically, I read like a press release and I send that to you guys, the week of the event, letting people know that what's happening.
Mm-hmm. And I think we'd be glad to do that again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we can put it out on MailChimp too.
Right.
Yes.
So there are no signs that go out on the side of the road that say bike event Sunday or something like that?
Yes, on the Sunday before, I put cycling event signs out.
Okay.
The entire course. There'll be these large, cycling event this weekend.
Okay.
Put them on the Sunday night or Sunday afternoon of the weekend prior, and they go through the whole course. And they're double-sided, so both directions of traffic will see the same sign. And I don't have one with me, but I put these red and yellow crosshatches across the bottom of them, so they're very visible. If there's ever a large intersection, like if we were going to go down to 7, no, actually I don't do that in advance. That's on the day. I have other safety signs that go on the day. But yeah, so we do those large signs. They're like 24 by 18.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great.
And I think too, Todd, you had offered in your letter to send us a copy of the certificate of insurance when you get it, and we would like a copy of that as well.
Yeah, not a problem. I
Okay.
received that last week, so I can send that through.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions for Todd?
No.
I don't think we've ever had an issue with this particular race, so it's been well run, and I'm assuming it'll go well again this year. So, yeah, I know. Well, all right, so I need to sign the consent form. Do we all agree that
Yep.
I should
I
do
agree.
that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm signing it now, Todd, we'll get it right out to you tomorrow, I'm guessing, Maddie, right?
Yeah.
Great, I really appreciate that. I'm trying to get on to one a bit earlier, so I'm not panicking for the state level permissions 30 days out.
All right.
Because I still have to go through DPS and V-Trans.
Okay,
So thank you for that, and I'll send you the COI.
okay, perfect. Thank you for joining us and giving us the overview.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for
Okay,
your time.
you too.
Bye.
Bye. Road foreman update is next.
Yep.
So what's happening? There's no snow to move around.
Well, we moved it all. Went around the last 2 days and shelved off snowbanks, so
Saw
the
that,
new
yeah.
stuff had somewhere to go, so the roads didn't get too choked up. Pushed back banks where we could and cleared up the intersection there in Q Vassar,
Yeah, that's
because that
fine.
was getting, so you couldn't
Couldn't
see.
see over it, yeah.
By the time you could see if anybody was coming down, you were almost out in front of them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, fixed that. Yeah, just moving snow,
It's gonna keep coming too.
constant.
Yeah, and we get some good comments from some of our friends down on Lower Center Fayston Road that normally in the wintertime have issues with what's going on there, and actually got a compliment from them last week, which I sent to you. And
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, so,
actually,
front porch.
upon front porch forum,
yeah,
too, yeah.
yeah, so that's always good.
Yeah,
That's great.
no, we've been trying to keep them sanded. I mean, we've gone through a lot of material
Have
this
you?
year.
Yeah, well, I can imagine, because almost every day we get some
Right.
snow.
Yeah, I mean,
All day.
every town's putting a lot of material out,
Yeah, yeah.
so.
So a couple of things maybe for the folks back home just to know about. We're putting together, or trying to put together an RFP to have some subcontract work done on Dunbar Hill.
Yeah,
So that's something that's in the works. We're trying to find an engineering consultant right now who could help us to draft that RFP. Listening, watching, whatever, that,
Come out.
does that work?
Mayday, Mayday.
Yeah, we're looking for you. And then we also already posted, I think, about looking for a fourth road crew person,
yeah,
and that was out in Front Porch Forum, I believe, right?
Yep, and an email, and then it'll be in the paper this week.
Okay, good. So we also looking for a part-time person to start anyway, which could develop into a full-time position over time. So if anybody is listening to this and knows somebody who would be interested in that, we're looking for that person as well. So I think that's about it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Think of anything else?
yeah, it's pretty straightforward this time of year.
All right.
Hey, at least the roads are staying frozen.
That is true. Haven't been fighting mud all year.
I know.
Quick question,
I know.
did you hear back about the York break?
It should be here, that's towards the end of this month.
It'll be
Okay.
a deep freeze next week, so you won't need it.
Right. And they're gonna deliver it. It's coming out of Maine.
Yeah. Get any work at all to prep that, or is that come ready to go?
I believe it comes assembled and ready to go.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
That's good.
one more tool for us to use.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys.
Yep. All right, the next item is for the Fayston Conservation Commission, and that's to sign the Birdseye Forestry contract for the management plan, to develop the management plan for Chase Brook. And we've talked to the Conservation Commission about that on a number of occasions. I think, what was the total amount on that, $3,200?
No, I think it's,
Oh, $2,200,
Yeah.
$225 for that, and they have the money set aside to do that, and we've talked to them about it, so What's your pleasure on that one? Should we, everybody good to have me sign this?
Yes. Sure.
Yep, okay.
Absolutely.
So this authorizes Birdseye Forestry to begin the development of that management plan for Chase Brook. All right, thank you, Matty. Okay, next, signing a lot of things, a certificate of compliance and town officers form for the state of Vermont. I don't know if you've all seen this, but we do this every year.
Well, we saw it today.
These are all part of the same document, right?
Yeah. So like, yeah, Sarah filled out these already. So it's just those two that we signed.
That need the signature?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know, do you want to take a look at these? And I'll just pass them along quickly so you can see what we're asked to sign. It's essentially that we're spending money on our roads, and we're at least spending the minimal amount that they expect us to be spending at the state level, so. But you'll see the formulas are on there and the dollar amounts, and it's an annual form. I think we all have to sign that, right?
Yeah, one of the second
Is
one, I
that-
think you have to all sign.
All of us, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you're passing it along, maybe, if you agree.
Sign away.
Didn't say hello to Eve. Good evening, Eve.
Good evening.
I thought maybe she had you muted.
Oh, she's trying to get me muted. This is new.
Yeah, it came this afternoon, so I
Yeah.
just heard it.
So you just sign these, while we're waiting.
Who crossed this out and changed it?
Sarah did actually.
So you just verified?
Yeah, they automatically fill out the fiscal year, so I just changed it
Oh,
right now because we're.
okay, yeah.
Great.
Chuck's gonna sign it, date it.
Yeah, I need to sign that.
Yeah.
And last but not least. Okay.
This is the
So,
one you just
and I
used.
need to sign this, okay. While we were doing that, I signed the excess weight permits for Kingsbury Companies, Sunbelt Rentals, Swan Site Work LLC, and Rice Lumber Company.
Chuck, would you mind repeating all those? Sunbelt, Kingsbury?
Kingsbury, Sunbelt, Swan Site Work, and Rice Lumber Company.
Great, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And that's it, right? Just those two spots. Okay, thank you. So we had no other business, so we can read the mail, sign the warrant, and then we will go into executive session for a quick review of a legal matter. We did have something I wanted to add to the business. I'll do it after we're done this part. Yeah, well, I can do it while we're checking the warrants. So Lisa Esla got back to me from Harwood, a finance person, and regarding the question that we all had about why is Fayston tax rate going up when all of the other member towns are going down, and we've heard a few explanations about that, trying to explain to us, but we still can't explain it ourselves. So Lisa offered to come to one of our meetings to try to educate us on what is happening with that tax rate. So we have one more meeting before town meeting. My concern was that if it comes up as a discussion at town meeting, I'd like to be able to explain how that formula works, and also, if it's all right with you, I'll invite her to our next meeting and see if we can learn anything from that before town meeting comes up. Okay.
This is
So if we
small.
put her on the agenda,
Small,
Maddie,
must be
I'll-
the floods
I'll
over.
try to reach her tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
Barely two
Yeah,
weeks.
it's-
Yeah, okay.
I see NIMRIC sent a bill. Right? That's the one we always like fluctuate in the budget there. Thank you.
So what went on between,
Yeah, she made a note for you. So it's the post office thing.
oh,
So we have a check that's made out to the post,
okay.
or to the post
So
office. It
did we
just,
wind up having to pay them more?
well, no, not yet, but probably.
Okay.
So we have every year have gotten like a mail permit to mail the town reports. And supposedly you fill out like an application and then you pay an annual fee. Well, we started out in Waitsfield and then Patty switched to Moortown in like 2006 or something. Well, no offense to the Moortown post office, but they don't have any paperwork on it and say that we don't have said application permit number 22. And so now it's gotten bumped up to headquarters and they're trying to fight.
Well, I'm surprised.
I went upstairs and found all the paperwork and sent it to them and they were like, oh.
Yeah. You know, and we've been mailing under that permit number for the town reports for how many years now?
Since like 1982.
And now all of a sudden they say, well, it's not valid, you know,
I'm like, I didn't create permit number 22.
yeah. So.
And then he's like, well, it's they're required to keep it for 10 years. I'm like, and they clearly didn't. So
Yeah.
this isn't a Fayston problem. Sounds like a,
Waitsfield Post Office, right?
well, it's Waitsfield, it's a Moortown.
More
Yeah.
down.
Because I went to Waitsfield to see if they happened to maybe save any paperwork or have it. And she's like, no, we would have gotten rid of
Yeah.
it.
So.
But of course now this permit is a lot more expensive than it was said
Right.
back when we bought it, so.
All right.
All good, but
Okay, all right. So we've, no mail, we've signed the warrant. I'll make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss a legal matter.
Second that motion?
Mike seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Maddie, you're all set.
So Maddie,
Bye,
you're good,
thank
you're good.
you.
Bye, thanks,
Thanks, Steve.
bye.
Good night.
Recording